Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski, I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpar Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report, where we will look for decent occasions on the market. And that was an, let's say, eventful day yesterday. First of all, we got statement, let's call it statement, from the US Treasury Secretary, Mr. Mnuchin. He said that weaker dollar is good for trade. And this was a very negative information for the American dollar. Well, it was in line with the trend, so it wasn't a surprise, it wasn't like a shock for markets. Trend traders were pleased with that. People that were going against the trend were punished again for going against the trend. That's another lesson, that you shouldn't go against the trend. You should always follow the trend. And actually on some instruments it helped, on some instruments it didn't change anything. That was like the most important thing yesterday, like the game changer. But also, as you can see, we got a CPI from New Zealand, which maybe for the bigger market, for the wider market, it wasn't nothing. But for the New Zealand dollar traders, it was definitely important. CPI came much worse than expectations. 1.6 instead of 1.9, 0.1 instead of 0.4. On a yearly basis, 1.6. And New Zealand dollar was going lower. Also, we got PMIs from US, which generally came better than expectations, but it wasn't so important. A statement from Mr. Mnuchin, US Treasury Secretary. But that was yesterday. What is happening today? We are waiting for ECB. So I would be extra careful when trading on euro. I think that there are more interesting instruments without euro, so there's no reason to trade there if you can trade on other instruments, which, by the way, I will show you some of those. So today ECB, but also important data for Canada, retail sales. So important data for the Canadian dollar, 4.5 hours. If you're planning a position on Canadian dollar, you have to watch out for the retail sales data, right? So that being said, let's go through the instruments. Today, euro dollar started the European session on long-term highs, but now we're having a small reversal. So on a daily chart, the price is creating a shooting star. So far, not much that we can tell, right? The sentiment is definitely positive. As you can see on a weekly chart, definitely positive. We are waiting for the ECB. It's hard to predict what ECB will tell, what ECB will do. Apparently, we are about to see a dovish statement. but the situation is still opened. Next one, American dollar to Japanese yen. Well, to sum up, euro dollar. Well, my again, we don't give recommendations, but I would stay away from the euro dollar right now. American dollar to Japanese yen. That kind of drop should have a correction, but eventually we should get there to the support. Oh, and that was our view when the price was breaking that horizontal support, and actually that was like 350 pips drop. I thought it's gonna take much longer to get there, but I can see that traders are pushing lower right now and they are not hesitating. They are not taking time. They are very determined with reaching this horizontal support, and in my opinion we should eventually get there, and that will be a good occasion for a reversal. Next one is gold. Gold also made new long-term highs, right? We beat the highs from 2017, right? We are very close to the highs from 2016. So situation on gold is very, very optimistic. Especially like if we will break that area, that kind of a resistance, we should see a comeback at least here to $1,500 per ounce. Right? In the long term, this kind of movement looks very, very promising. Bitcoin. Bitcoin broke the downtrend line, but still cannot force $11,000. So still yellow resistance is in play. As long as we stay below, sentiment is still negative. But it also creates a good trading opportunity for the buyers, because once the price will break the red area, go to the red arrow, that will be a buy signal. So once you will see a price on the red area, I think that will be a good occasion to buy Bitcoins. American dollar to Canadian dollar is one of my favorite instruments. Recently I'm observing this instrument. I'm looking for a good place for entry. You know the situation, since the very beginning of the year, the price is closed in a rectangle. We have a horizontal support, we have a horizontal resistance. The price broke the support recently, right? Yesterday, obviously. Then broken support was used as a resistance, which was a confirmation of this, and now we are heading lower. We still obviously support our long-term view that this is a new downswing, down wave, and this downswing potentially can go as deep as here, which will be the same impulse as this one, or lower to the yellow area, which will be the same impulse as this one. So this is our view on American dollar to Canadian dollar. Everything supports the bearish view. So breakout from the rectangle, main trend, lower lows and lower highs. Every single factor here points south. So, well, obviously price can do everything, but I would be very, very surprised if the price did not decline after setup like that. And New Zealand dollar to American dollar. This pair, which was influenced by the CPI data, and this is the reaction. What is interesting, this downtrend, this downswing, did not happen in a random place because it happened on a horizontal resistance. Horizontal resistance, a shooting star, long tail. That potentially is a strong sell signal. But the thing is that the dollar is weak. So it's a bit problematic to go short here. Because obviously, yes, you're selling New Zealand dollar, which can have problems now after the CPI. But in the same time, in this pair, you're buying American dollar, which is not actually the best idea right now. But there is a solution for that, kind of a solution for that, because there is an uptrend here, resistance, shooting star. Do not open position now. But if you believe in a reversal, you can wait for the breakout of the uptrend line, right? So, for example, here. So then you will respect this rejection here. Then you will go with the breakout of the uptrend line. And that will be, those two factors would be promising for your short position. Next one is FTSE. FTSE was having an ascending triangle since the middle of April. The price was going higher. We had a horizontal resistance, we had a dynamic support. The price in December broke this horizontal resistance and then used that. I hope that they will use it as a local support. And price bouncing from this horizontal support, price creating a reversal pattern, price creating a bullish reversal pattern here on this support will be a very strong buy signal. Buy signal that should be considered, should be taken into the consideration, can potentially be a very profitable trade. Additionally, with a great risk to reward ratio. Right, because once you will have a reversal pattern here, like a hammer or a bullish engulfing, you know where the support is, you have this pattern, and then you place the stop loss below the lows of this formation, and you wait for the proper upswing. That's how you trade it, and that would be a very, very good price action setup. So I'm just waiting here for that. Dollar index. Yesterday, dollar smashed, but today, which maybe not often happens, but still happens on the market, that we do have a sharp reversal straight away. So first, negative reaction, but now we're having a small bounce. I can see, well, I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 H4 bearish candles in a row. After this amount of time, small reversal would be welcomed. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen. I was thinking about the downswing here, but it's still possible as long as the price stays below this downtrend line. The further downswing is still possible. Australian dollar to American dollar. Here we had a kind of reaction for this New Zealand dollar thing, because those pairs are correlated, but Australian dollar was pushing higher anyway. Seems like they broke important horizontal resistance. This one seems like it's broken. With this resistance broken, then the way to a new all-time, not all-time highs, but long-term highs is opened. So we should generally touch the upper line of this, let's say, channel up formation, which started since the second half of 2015. So price being above the green area is a sign for us that we should aim the pink line here. So that's a positive sign. That's a bullish sign for Australian dollar to American dollar. Next one, American dollar to Singaporean dollar. No surprise here. Strong drop. We still see a chance for the price to get to the horizontal resistance here. Euro to New Zealand dollar. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a bigger drop, but the negative information for New Zealand dollar, lower CPI, as we mentioned before, caused the reversal here. Not in a random place again. We bounced again from the long-term uptrend line. I think that this head and shoulder formation loses importance. It can be hard for the sellers to keep the price. To keep the price lower. I think that price breaking the yellow resistance will be a definite sign for continuation of this trend. By this trend, I mean this movement supported by green line. So an uptrend. Euro to British pound. We broke long-term horizontal support. This green area supporting the price since the middle of June, right? It was defended many times. It was almost broken on December, but it seems like this breakout from yesterday is legitimate because the price closed vastly below this support, and that actually opens us a way to this orange area. But I think that we should get a proper signal today from ECB, and this movement, which will happen after ECB, should be continued here. So if we'll have a hawkish ECB, we will have a reversal, we'll have a comeback above the green line, which will be perceived as a false breakout. Well, comeback will prove false breakout. This candle from yesterday will be perceived as a false breakout, and after false breakout will be estimated here, we will be able to expect a stronger upswing. But on the other hand, we can have a dovish ECB, and dovish ECB will just confirm this breakout and can lead us much lower. S&P 500 Another day, another profit. Everything is awesome here. Everything is perfect. Tax reform, infrastructure bill, weak dollar supporting export. Nothing bad, nothing bad. So all that is reflected in upswing here. Oil is still above the uptrend line. Nice flag recently. Flag and a rectangle. So a trend continuation pattern. We broke the upper line of this rectangle, which is a signal to go long again. I think we can remove those Fibos. Oil, almost $56. I think that we can have a reversal to the red area to test it as a support. I'm not sure though. The long-term sentiment stays positive. I don't see any chances for a long-term reversal so far. And the next instrument, American dollar to Swiss franc. Here we are attacking a neckline of this head and shoulder formation. Left shoulder, head and right shoulder. Well, it's not the prettiest formation on the record, but still can be significant. The thing is that on American dollar to Swiss franc, you don't get any like directional movements, long trends. You can see this chart, apart from the Black Thursday, obviously, from 2015. And the price is more or less going sideways. That's not the best currency pair to go with the long-term directional movements. I think you have trends here, but trends are more like mid-term, short-term trends. In the long term, this pair is just moving sideways. So that being said, what I meant is that you have head and shoulder pattern here, and which should result with a strong drop. But it does not have to happen. It does not have to happen because we may have a drop here, then a comeback, and the price will be just moving sideways. Cable looks perfect. Cable looks beautiful. Brexit referendum, right? Almost there. Almost there. That's beautiful. Because why is it beautiful? Because we are telling about that for a long time. After the well, first of all, before the Brexit referendum, we were warning that traders may vote for Brexit. Okay? After it became truth and the pound declined sharply, we're saying like, come on, we don't buy this drop. We think that that drop is a mistake, and in the long run the cable should be stronger. And that's what's happening. We didn't even finish negotiations, and cable is almost back. Cable almost recovered everything. We are extremely happy with that, especially like in last year in our newsletter here. Exactly here, we said that there is a bullish potential in cable and the pound should go higher, and most probably the pound will go higher. So that's why I'm super happy with the recent upswing. Almost 2,000 pips. 1,900 pips. We are in a very, very good situation here, very close to 50% Fibo. We should eventually get there, beating actually levels from before Brexit. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. Here is this inverse head and shoulder formation, breakout of the horizontal resistance. As long as we stay above this horizontal resistance, now support, the sentiment is positive and we do have a chances for a further upswing. It looks alright, it looks promising, it looks legitimate. DAX is also having some troubles like FTSE. But it shouldn't be nothing serious. It's more like an occasion for buyers to buy with better prices rather than a bigger reversal. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. What we are having here is obviously a reaction for the CPI data. So before this, everything was going great. The price was above the horizontal resistance. We were very close to the above the horizontal support. We were close to the resistance. But now we should aim the lower line of the previous rectangle and the uptrend line. We should get here to test that as a support, and we'll see what will happen then. But first scenario here is come back to the support. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, they are wasting chance for a head and shoulder formation. And chance, if it will be wasted, that will be a signal to do the opposite. So once they will not use head and shoulder pattern, and instead of that they will break the line connecting the top of the head and the top of the right shoulder, once they will break this level, this resistance, that will be a buy signal. So they were unable to use horizontal support, so if they don't want to break it, they're gonna aim for the resistance, and if they will break resistance, that will open a way for new highs. And the British pound to Japanese yen, well, that was an instrument opened yesterday for the webinar about MetaTrader 4. Here we just have an upswing, higher highs and higher lows, and this should be continued. Unfortunately, we don't have here like an awesome trading setup. It's just okay, nothing special. Okay, guys. So as you can see, U.S. Treasury Secretary helped in some cases. In some cases, triggered actually signal, like for example, American dollar, Canadian dollar. But we don't have any major signals, unfortunately. So that's why, for example, I don't have any trades opened right now. I'm waiting for a better setups. Thank you very much, guys, for attending this webinar. Now we will have a short break, and after that, a webinar about technical analysis. Right? See you there, and stay safe. In the meantime, visit our website alpari.news and our Twitter account alpari.ra.